because now you're creative content. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you're following it by the Instagram rules, yeah, they want you to put it out every day, but you know, make it to where it makes sense to you. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I don't want to give everybody a whole catalog because you still want to have other music to drop with other competition out there. This is a big world out here. You know what I mean? Like, so we got to realize that we competing with everybody. We're not just competing just with, it speaks for me. I'm not just competing with the United States. I'm competing with the whole world out there. So if you're going to compete with the whole world, you know, like everybody else know, they're dropping every day. That's really hard to compete with. So
just like you said earlier, the mind state of just because you did it, it may be old to you, but it's always new to somebody that's hearing it. We had plenty of artists who have given their testimony of how they pressed a song for over 2 years before it finally hit, and right now they're classics. I mean, one of the things I bring up all the time is Trap Queen. It's been put out there for the longest time that, you know, Freddie Wap pushed that for like 2 years, and everybody knew about that for 2 years strong. Excuse me, before it was known to the world. And I mean, it's the classic right now. That you'll never not hear that song again. So my question to follow up with that is, when you do a project, and it may be based on whether it's a EP or album, a single, whatever you do, but do you have a time limit or a time frame where you feel like the promotion and push for this project should be going? Even just like a ballpark figure, or do you just go until you feel like the momentum needs to be shifted?
I'm gonna be real. I feel like it's definitely a time span, and I learned that with the marketing game. You know, the music business it's a business. You know what I mean? It's not just rapping. People have to realize this as well. So with that being said, what I mean by that is music is like, you have certain music for certain time of the season. You got music for the summer, you got music for the winter, you got some for the spring and the fall, all 4 seasons. At least artists is that serious about their craft like I am. So sometimes a song that you think that would be good for the summer might not work for you in the winter time. It might not even be that vibe. And when you learn that as an artist to adapt with the people, then it's gonna be so much more easier to reach your audience, because music is really a feeling. It's an emotion. And once you realize that, yes, it's a time span. So a person like me, for example, I got an EP I'm about to drop. This EP is specifically for the summer. You know what I'm saying? For at least for me, it's gonna be a summer vibe. Some of you gonna ride to, some of you gonna want to bump to, some of you gonna want to dance to, some of you gonna want to whatchamacallit. Then I got other stuff that I still have that I don't release yet that I'm gonna save for the winter, because it's more like a laid back vibe, more like a cuddle vibe with your lady, watch TV or something, you know, laid back. So yes, it's really important to understand your audience, most importantly, because like I said, when you understand your audience, they're gonna kind of tell you what they want to hear anyway. You know what I mean? So
Well, again, I want to give you your credit and give you your props where they're due because, again, we met, we're going on 2 years now. It's about 2 years now. I met you after I got the gig to be able to do armed security for French Montana. Shout out to the whole Coke Boys team, everybody out there, Drew, Cheese, Tech, everybody, Brock, everybody. I mean, I can sit there and name everybody. Shout out to Pearly. But so the invite was for a VIP and just be able to network. And I extended that out to Chisel. Now I've known DJ Chisel, shout out to DJ Chisel, for years. Same thing. I met him on the road. When I was an artist, I met him on tour. We exchanged numbers and relationship built from there. You know, doing business and music and everything else from there. So whenever I get those type of opportunities, I always try to reach out to my closest and to people who I've been dealing with for the longest, and I know they're about their business. So I reached out, to him. One thing I don't like, and it's just being honest, especially with my closest friends. I'm not saying you have to take opportunities or anything like that, but I put it like this: not even my closest friend. Any artist who's hitting me up for any opportunities that they see me a part of, and they don't show up, I don't need that to happen one time. I mean, it's almost like a job. Outside of emergency, I'm not with the bullshit. You know what I mean? The opportunities are there. It's your job to take the opportunities. You know what I mean? They don't stay there. They don't come back around. You don't play with those. And I try to tell people all the time, if you're not promising them something, they feel like there's no reason to go there. You got to be in these buildings. You got to be in these rooms. There's a bunch of events and things that go on where they don't name who's going to be on the flyer. They don't name who's going to be in the room. They don't name who's going to drop their keys that night and you find them. They don't name who's going to, whatever the situation is going to be, is how you run into different people. Some people like, how did you end up, giving your demo to Jadakiss? And to be honest with you, when he's at the gas station, this happened, that happened. That's how I met him. And then he thanked me. whatever the case may be. But it's like, did you ever leave the house that night to even get out there and get that chance? No, you made some type of excuse. You wanted to blame it in your man's then pick you up. You want to mismanage your money and post all week all the Henny bottles and everything else. Now you ain't got the money to get to the club. You want to blame it on the haircut. All these excuses. I don't deal with it. So I hit
I'm with
Chisel.
That's a
Hit
character.
Chisel. I put the fire on Chisel for a little because he was he.
Look, let's talk on that. Hold on, I want to big you up on that. I want to let the people know that's listening. Shout out to J.I. What a lot of people don't know, what he's trying to explain to y'all is he invited us to an event. It was at the terminal in Connecticut. Salute to him. He was a security guard for Coke Boys. He had VIP access, and he gave us the opportunity to network with the Coke Boys. This was the first time I met him as well. He didn't even really know me from a hole in the wall. He knew my DJ Beach was also an artist as well that gave us the opportunity. So he had more relationship with him, and from that day on, you see, we're still rocking with each other. But long story short, we're at Cheese and I think Scarlet, if I'm not mistaken, or whatever,
Yeah, what's
was
yeah.
it was her event too, if I'm not mistaken. This was
Yeah.
all around that time. And long story short, Cheese put on a hell of a performance. And shout out to Tech, he did the hell of footage behind. Shout out to J.I., he did a hell of a job as far as security. Everybody got home safe. Everybody made home. So if you want to book with J.I., you should, because he definitely is a great security guard. Make everybody get home safe. But to carry on, to get y'all back on topic, that's where it all started with me meeting the Coke Boys. That day right there, I ended up seeing Cheese. That was my goal of actually getting in there to network with him, because I was one of them type of artists. If I'm going to an event and this is what he's trying to tell you, if he's giving you opportunity, take the opportunity. He gave me opportunity, I took it. I wanted to meet up with Cheese. I wanted to do a song with him, and I never knew where I was going to go with this. I didn't know if he was going to end up, hand me back, or if he was going to fall through or not. He called me the next day. As soon as he called me the next day, it was history. We ended up shooting a video, and I got the opportunity to shoot the video on Chinks Day. Look how that opportunity blew out. And then I ended up meeting his
So even with that, one
mom.
opportunity turned to another one because I was called to do security and do some booking in New York for a shout out to Rod Dollar. And we was meeting up with Mano and Dave East. So when I called you guys, you was out there recording with Coke Boy Tech. And I'm like, yo, when you're done, come out here. You know what I mean? Come take the opportunity. I'm gonna be with Dave East or whatever. And then we're going out to, for Chinks Day, going for his memorial lighting and everything. And when we got there, I respected because you was reserved. I ain't gonna say you was shy because you're not shy at all, but you was reserved respectfully, like, yo, this ain't my opportunity. Then I said, yo, if you're here, it's your opportunity. I would never invite you somewhere that I don't want you to take advantage of. So at that point, you were shooting your music video. I said, yo, turn around and go shoot with Dave. You looking like, well, I'm like, walk up to that man right now or shoot it right now. Just have him in the background to show you that this is just a regular day. This is what we do. We did that. We went ahead to Chinks Lighting after that. Shot the video there. Shout out to Viking and everybody that showed up. Yemen Cheese was, I mean, everybody you could think of was definitely there. So shout out to everybody that popped out and you was able to shoot the video and that was amazing. And again, you took advantage of the opportunity. And one thing I told you, I said, I want you
You even
to go
forgot
all the way.
hip hop pulled up too, that you had Mano. Shout out to Mano. Mano was
Oh
in
yeah, we
the too.
got that footage. But yeah, that's when we was like, I said, yo, I want you to get to the point that if I introduce you to somebody, you know what I mean, take advantage of the opportunity. I want you to be here even if I'm not here. A lot of people don't want you around unless they're around and they got a hand in everything. When you went on tour, because I had my own personal thing going on, whatever, I had to leave the tour. I couldn't work for a little bit. You were still going. We were still keeping in contact and everything else. There was no hate. There was no nothing. It was still communication, still business and everything else. And I give you a bunch of respect because you actually took the opportunity, and I think a lot of artists need to understand that. You have these invites, go. You spending all this money on weed and alcohol, spend that money on you. I mean, you got to invest in yourself. It don't matter what you're doing. If you're going to buy a chicken spot, you got to invest into it. If you're selling drugs, you got to invest in it. You got to know how to, put your money up and invest in yourself. What you're going to be buying, what your package is going to be different. You need to do the same thing as an artist. Get your package together. Take these opportunities. To me, it's first and foremost. Get in the building and then let the opportunity go ahead and make something for you.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Shout out to Fly Gaza Radio, Minnesota, Iowa, all the way in the Midwest is in the building. But
Yeah, I've been seeing you getting booked for tours and everything. Like, so how's that feel? Is that something that's been going on since the bookings and stuff? First of all, I've seen you working a lot closer with the